Hello and welcome back to Silver Dragoon, a little stacking investment and finance channel. Appreciate your time here. As we kind of end the day, in that 77, 78 range for silver, and gold has consistently stuck to 4,500. We've seen about 3 months here of pretty stabilized channeling prices, right? Silver and gold kind of just moving really, within a few percent here or there each day, kind of going up and down, a few days and then down a few days. And it's been pretty nice, honestly. It's been pretty nice to have some faith that things aren't going to fall out, beneath us. And all of a sudden, silver's $35 an ounce or something crazy. And I couldn't say that for probably most of 2025, if not all of 2025. And we had that big, huge run up right at the end of 2025 into the beginning of 2026 from January to January about 29th. And then, the bottom fell out, right? And there's some people out here, saying that people are getting bored with the precious metals.
And we are currently entering the 17th week of gold and silver price consolidation since the big pullback that we got at the end of January, with it becoming clear that many people are becoming both bored and frustrated with the precious metals market.
What is there to get bored with? We have pretty much prices that are significantly 3 to 4x what they were 5 years ago. We've had constantly every day, it feels like we're having up or down 2, 3, 5%. I don't know about you all, but I've been investing in different markets for a very long time. And the precious metals markets was never really one of those ones that would consistently have 5 to 10% swings. That was really unique in the last couple of years. Now, we've had some periods of time over the last 40 years, 50 years that it has happened. But for the most part, that's what precious metals do. So I don't know how people can say that silver and gold are boring when they have actual 3% moves up and down daily. I mean, that's a lot. Like that is what would be considered volatility in most markets. There wasn't too long ago when you would be happy with getting 5 to 8% growth on your assets or investments a year. And now there's trading that happens where you can beat that every single day. So I don't know, maybe I'm just completely disconnected from other people at this point, but I feel like, this is not boring. It's nice to see some stabilization of these precious metals, but it's still pretty exciting whether it goes up or down, because every single day is bringing new opportunities in. Also, if you're somebody who, you say that you believe in precious metals and, precious metals are up to 120 and you stop buying and you just kind of complain when they fall, like, do you really believe in them? Do you believe in them long term? Are you in this just to kind of make a quick buck and get out as fast as you can? I don't know. That just seems kind of odd to me. The parallels that people kind of run with here, and then they're like almost hypocritical in their stances. It's just, if you like silver and gold, buy silver and gold. If you don't buy them. There's no pressure here. One thing that I've noticed, though, is that as prices have gone up, I have been shifting sort of what my focus is, right? It's hard to be a contrarian in this market when everything goes up all kind of at the same time. But I've been shifting a lot to trying to find fractional pieces of silver. As you can see here on the top, these half-ounce pieces, there's a small premium on them, but really it's not anything. It's not even close to the premium that I've been paying for American Silver Eagles at some points. Also, these, silver bits, I really do stand firm. I really do support and believe what the local silver mint, Dave, has to say. Is his mission is basically to produce fractional silver so that the masses can have tons of silver, so that when silver's priced in the thousands because of hyperinflation and the debasement of the currency over time and the changing of the currency system, like, he firmly believes that the United States government is going to intentionally crash the financial system so that, when they introduce a new currency, essentially that we will be begging for a new currency, right, as a populace. And
so to me, the way to actually affect this is that we need to create an alternative, something that gives people the ability to do trades without using fiat currency. Because to me, that's the root problem of this whole thing. So my activism is about silver bits. Our mission is to make and sell billions of silver bits. That's billions with a B, so that people can still buy stuff.
Whether he's right or wrong, what we can say though is that as silver goes from, that $18, $20 an ounce mark up to 100 to 20 or 200 or whatever the future may hold, well, all of a sudden, people are going to actually, I think, want to have stuff that's not a full ounce. I think that, these, going back, to, 5, 10 ounce bars and such, that's almost like a thing of the past anymore, because once you get into 10 ounces at, $200, well, all of a sudden, you're got a $2,000 bar right there. And that's not something that I think that you really want to be forced to sell if, in a smaller transaction. You want to probably hold on to those things as long-term investments. So anyway, I've been shifting a little bit into more fractional silver and gold. And I don't know about you, is that something that you've noticed as well? So that's definitely one area that I have shifted to. Also, another area that I've shifted to is the price of silver has gone up pretty significantly. And I think we all know at this point that when you go to sell, if you're selling in bulk as well, that you're not going to get a really good price when you go to sell. These LCSs, they're dealing with this volatility just like we are, and they don't want to lose a ton of money either. So they're kind of offering back on the low end of either under spot or at spot. And even American Silver Eagles, where you're paying a pretty significant premium, a 10 to 15% premium normally for American Silver Eagles at purchase time, when you go to sell, you're only getting a spot or a couple percent, unless you've got these pristine BU tubes. But most people don't have that, especially over a long period of time. Milk spotting starts happening and toning starts happening and undesirable spots and stuff start happening. And, eventually you get to the point where you're going to be selling those almost as bullion bulk, just like any of the generic. So another place that I've shifted to is just buying generic rounds. It doesn't matter. If you got a spot deal for up to 20 ounces or you got a spot deal up to 5 ounces, whatever it is, if you go to your LCS and they've got some old bars and old rounds that nobody's wanted and they're just sitting in like a grab bin and you can get them for spot or less than spot, I say that's where you should go. I do like the American Silver Eagle. I think it's an amazing coin, and I'm going to continue to buy them if I can get them for right around spot. But I tell you what, I'm not going to be doing anymore. I'm not going to be paying a significant 10 plus premium on any silver. There's no silver worth it anymore. If you're doing a collector piece, that's totally different. Again, I'm just talking about that deep stack, the heavy stack that you're just trying to accrue bullion weight with. It doesn't matter. So those are kind of two big places that I've shifted my silver purchases in terms of my stack, is more fractional stuff. Right now, these carry a bit of a premium. I got these mostly to support Dave at Local Silver Mint and his mission and his vision for getting billions of bits into people's hands. That's why I bought those, and I'll probably buy his new coined ones once he gets that out there as well. Shout out to that group. I really like his videos and I like his attitude. But really, this fractional stuff, whether it's half ounces, quarter ounces, 10th ounces, I think gram is a little too small for silver. I don't see silver in my lifetime where a gram is ever going to be something that I want to hold. But half ounce, I think, is a great price. Or a great size for me right now. And then finally, another place that I've kind of shifted my focus to, is a lot of you guys that watch the channel consistently know this, is I have started to look for numismatic pieces of 90% silver, constitutional silver from the U.S. Mint. So right now I'm focused on the Walking Liberty $half series, but I think there's also probably opportunities in like the Morgan series and the Peace Dollar series that I've seen, even the Franklin series. There are opportunities to get, in some situations, you can get some lower graded coins for relatively close to spot, and definitely better than spot plus the grading cost if you were to do it yourself. Because remember, things come in waves, right? Graded coins actually went up pretty well in the beginning of 2025 through 2025. You could see a pretty large spike in a lot of the graded coin prices, especially the higher end stuff that I've been looking at, like the MS65 and higher graded walkers. There were definitely spikes in 2025, and then you see a little bit of a pullback retraction in 2026 as the prices have stabilized, prices have come down. Obviously, there is a correlation with the spot price, but numismatics are typically on like another different scale of tradability and collectability, right? There's that extra little value that's added to them for being a rarer piece that has history and that also is graded and certified, that that it for a fact it's a better quality than another version, right? So there's a little bit of a different market that you have to play and understand and pay attention to there. But it's just like it, you're not wholly dependent on the spot price, although spot price, as it goes up, obviously it pushes up the value of everything. So I'm looking at that as almost like a sight unseen market where a lot of people have turned their back kind of on collecting these things. I see a lot of options out there. I'm building some cool sets. I'm getting some great coins. I'm making deals with different people, sellers, and finding good deals. So I think there's an opportunity there. So I have been looking at graded coins. But yeah, that's kind of my summary here. Is I disagree. I disagree with Bald Guy Money when he says that a lot of people are getting bored with precious metals. If you're getting bored with 2 or 3% or 5% swings pretty much every day, whether it's up or down, you're getting bored with $75 silver and 4,500 gold, when these are like all-time highs in its life, still, like, not all-time highs in the most recent past, but like if you cut out the last 2 years, it's like all-time highs for these things. What are we talking about boredom here? This is exciting times. These metals have way outperformed their expectations in the last 18 months. Let's just appreciate the market that we're in. Let's adapt. We definitely need to adapt to this market, but let's not pretend like this is some bad investment, that this is some, boring flat line going on right now. Even if we had a retraction, like another real retraction where maybe we fell to 55, I think the 200-day moving average on the 1-year chart, I could double check, whatever. I'm just going to throw a rough estimate out there, but it's probably around $56 or $57. So even if we came and retracted and we tried to retest the 200-day moving average, we're still in a pretty good valuation of silver historically. So I don't know about you. Again, I'm excited. Let me know what you guys, if you've made any adjustments, leave a comment. Let me know what adjustments that you've made to your deep stack or your collection stack or whatever you're doing with precious metals. Maybe you're on the sidelines. Maybe you're on the sidelines because you got burned at 120 and you don't trust silvers at 75. I get it, but I still think long term, we're talking another generation of humans coming through this world. I think we're going to be fine. I think that the writing is on the wall with the U.S. financial system. I'm not saying it's doom and gloom and that the U.S. the U.S. dollar is going to disappear and, other countries are going to take over the world reserve currency. I don't see that happening anytime soon, unless we lost a major war and we're taken over by China or Russia or something, which, again, I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that inflation is going to continue to ramp up. I think that, our targeting at like 3% historically, it's going to start probably to become a target of an annual 5%. And GDP, the GD lie or CP lies and all that stuff, these are made up numbers. They adjust them to fit whatever bill they want to show you. If you really dig into it, they adjust the items in the CPI so that it's like, oh, you guys, when steaks get too expensive, you won't buy steaks, you'll buy chicken. That might be true, but that's because of the inflation. You can't just take it out and act like inflation didn't happen. I went to Walmart the other day, Walmart of all places, and steaks, 2 ribeyes was $35. So yeah, you are probably pushing people to get chicken breast at, $10 a pound or whatever it is, but that doesn't mean that the inflation's gone. So anyway, these problems aren't going to solve themselves. Our debt's not going to go away. Inflation's not going to go away. Unemployment's not going to just flip a switch when all these people are getting laid off because their jobs are becoming obsolete due to AI, right? There's a lot that we have to work through. And my adjustments have been picking up fractional silver, continuing to just stack generic silver. I've always kind of done that anyway, but really focusing on generic cheap silver, because when I go to sell, it's going to be all bullion, baby, at the end of the day. We all know it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.